Good morning, children. I welcome you to this first class about the biology of mushroom. So, in this class, we'll be seeing what are mushrooms, where it grows, and where it can be seen, and what is the color of mushrooms, and what kind of plants are it, and its complete life cycle. And also, along with it, you will be seeing the four different types of mushrooms. So, looking into this picture, what can you understand? You can see mushrooms life cycle in the center, and also one delicious plate fully with mushroom recipes. So, if you see, your mouth will be watering, right? It waters for me. That's why I'm telling. Yes. So when looking into that, when we think about mushroom, the immediate thing which comes to our mind is the recipes like mushroom soup or mushroom biryani or mushroom pulao or any mushroom chili fry, etc. So, whatever it is, we have to know from where the mushrooms come and how it is cultivated and what is the purpose of cultivation and the complete life cycle of a mushroom. So, what is life cycle actually? For example, life cycle of us, we can see the complete life cycle means our human body with the different functions like circulatory system, respiratory system, and digestive system. Many other systems are there, and our life cycle continues with this cycle and ends one day, and again next generation is formed. So in the same way, in the same manner, this mushrooms also has got a complete life cycle, and we should know how it grows and from where it grows and all those details. So shall we look at? Come, let's get started. Yes. Children, looking into this picture, you can see the mushrooms are generally white in color. So why it is white in color? Can you imagine why it's white in color? It comes in the group of plant, and why still it's not green in color? Mainly because it does not have chloroplast. Keep this in mind, children. It does not have chloroplast. Think normally a plant, when you look into a plant, it appears green in color, right? So the green color is mainly due to the presence of chloroplast. In Tamil we call it as pachayam. Is it not? So that pachayam or the chloroplast is absent here, due to which other than green color, you can see many other colors too. So normally these mushrooms are called as the toadstools. When the fruiting, this is actually the fruiting body, and this fruiting body will be mostly colored other than green color. You can see white color, you can see black, brown, pink color, and many other colors can be seen, but you cannot see the green color alone. So the actual body which you're seeing, which is visible to us, is the fruiting body, and the rest of the life cycle you cannot see because have you noticed, children, when there is rain coming, you can see suddenly the fruiting body will be sprouting outside. So it is happening on that day? No, on that day alone that fruiting body doesn't come outside, but in the course of days, in some days what happens, there will be slowly gradual growth underneath the substrate wherever it grows, under the soil or under the wooden log or any other degradable waste, you can see it is growing. So underneath you can see that mycelium, but it's not visible to our naked eye. And also only when it sprouts outside, that is only when the fruiting body is formed, it is visible to our eyes. And that fruiting body will be having the spores. It is called as spores. It is actually considered to be the seed of the higher plants. Okay, so the seeds, when we grow, what happens? It produces new plant. In same manner, the spores, when it is dispersed in air or water, what happens? It again grows into a new plant. So this is actually a complete life cycle. So now coming into the plant body, coming into the structure of a fungi. This is actually a group of organisms called as fungi or fungi, and this will be having a plant body like a thread-like structure, and that we call it as the hyphae. So HYPHA is given in yellow color. You can see it's called as the hyphae. So this hyphae, it is the thread-like structure, and it is woven together. You can see it is completely that it is like a nool conduit, like together it is woven together, and it produces the spores. Next, where can you find this? Where and all, in which places can you find it? Just to take a paper and write and see where all you have seen the mushrooms. So you can see mushrooms mostly in wooden logs or even decaying leaves in many other places where there is little amount of moisture and food. This will grow. That's all. So why it is growing on other wooden logs or decaying leaves? Because it is doesn't have the chloroplast. So it needs or it depends on other organisms for its food. That is the main thing. Okay, and in the most of the environment of the earth, you can see this mushrooms growing, and mostly in decomposing areas also. So you can see the different pictures wherein you can understand. Now coming to the taxonomy of the mushroom. So when you look into the single basidiocarp, that is the fruiting body, is called as the scientifically called as the basidiocarp, because the main thing why it's called basidiocarp is it comes under a group of plant called as the Basidiomycota. This will be very new for the other persons, that is arts group and all, it will be very new. So but still you can read it one or two times so that it comes to your memory. It's called as the Basidiomycota. And why? What is the name Basidium means is actually from the picture you can see that interwoven hyphae, thread-like structure is there, and there is an outward threads expanding outside. You can see it is like a shape of a pedestal, and that is called as the basidium. And at the tip of the basidium you can see the spores, and that spores we call it as the basidiospores. And normally this type of, that is fungi or the fungus, these mushrooms are called as the club fungi, because mostly all the hyphae are interwoven together. Okay, now coming to why do fungi produce mushroom? Why it is producing that or fruiting body means, because only when it produces the fruiting body, what happens? Many spores will be formed, so it can be released in the environment. So the spores, in the sense you cannot imagine, billion spores will be formed. So it is carried away by the wind or water, and later on what happens when it gets the required food and the place, what happens? It will start to germinate, so it grows and forms again the fruiting body. So because of this reason, everywhere in the world you can see the mushrooms. And why it is important? For what reason it is important? There are two main reasons why it is important. Is mainly due to its nutritional value. Because when this nutritional value I'll be taking separately, but still you have to understand why this nutritional value has been emphasized. Because of the presence of less amount of carbohydrate and more amount of protein. So due to which what happens, the patients with diabetics, they can take this mushroom as a vegetable meat. It's otherwise called as the vegetable meat. So because protein is rich, carb is very less. Okay, and also it tastes very good. So mostly in Europe and Asia, you can see it is being cultivated, and in the markets you can see Agaricus bisporus, that is the button mushrooms, are sold frequently, and it has got some phytochemicals which become toxic to us if we are not boiling it properly and having it. So you have to cook it properly so that the toxins are destroyed, and it is safe for us. And some mushrooms can be poisonous also. That is mostly the colored mushrooms will be poisonous. So please avoid that, and without any consultation, do not take any mushrooms. By see, without consultation means what I'm highlighting there is on the field, in your own field, sometimes the mushrooms may come without the knowledge. You may take it, so it may become poisonous to you. So for that reason, don't take it. Only you have to get the advice from your elders, or the one which is available from the market also. It's very good and safe to eat. So I think you have understood what are mushrooms, why it is being cultivated, and what is the important reasons why it is being cultivated. Got it, children? Yes. So you can write a short note on the that is general features or importance of mushroom. Thank you, children.